is always the first thing we learn usually. So, can anybody tell me what goes in that big white fluffy thing right there? What's it called?
Water. Evaporation.
Wrong.
Cloud.
Exactly. Everybody, right? Clouds and that big white fluffy thing right there. Right there.
How do you spell that?
C-L-O-U-D-S.
Connor. How do you spell it? This one or this one? White water. This one. Or this one. How do you spell it again? So this one?
Yeah.
How do you
No,
spell
to
it?
the left of that.
How do you spell it? C-L.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
F.
Evaporation.
Is anybody water body? Yes! What? I think that's what I do.
Precipitation.
What do I do after water? What's after evaporation?
Run up. You did runoff already? Then you win.
I won, Dave! I'm still a water body, Dave! I won! No, what's after evaporation?
No, just Buffy. Nice one, you guys. Trample it for me.
That's a good way to clean your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an option.
Now just slide it.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Ah!
This last
How the
one
frick
over
is
here.
that?
No, it's nowhere near. What? We have to dig out underneath it. So it lays level. And then we have to put sticks on it and widen it and stuff. Can I go to Wakanda and grab a shovel, Dave?
Sure.
I'll be back.
Is to break down organic matter. So if we didn't have fungi, we wouldn't be able to walk through the forest. All the trees and branches that fell down and leaves wouldn't rot, and there would literally be trees stacked like 20 or 30 feet high. We wouldn't be able to walk through the forest. So the main body of the fungus is hidden from us, but it's going to send up something like this. You can see some of these are quite different, but they all have the same function. So the same way a flower or a piece of fruit is out there basically to spread seeds, this sends out the reproductive spores for mushrooms. So in plants, it's usually called a seed. For mushrooms, we usually have spores. And this is a very common type of mushroom that has kind of gills underneath. So it's kind of a feathery structure with a lot of surface area. And on the edges of those gills, they're going to produce spores, and the spores are very light, so the wind will pick them up, carry them all around. Sometimes they could travel halfway around the world and land somewhere else.
Wow.
Sometimes.
know some of the ways that plants are food for insects? What, for example, what would be an example of that? Maybe like bees or butterflies visiting flowers, right? So a lot of different insects visit flowers for their pollen and their nectar, and those are really important food sources. But there's actually also a lot of caterpillars that eat on leaves. So there are ways that insects benefit from plants that aren't just from the flowers. So a lot of these plants have relationships with different insects that feed on their leaves, and actually some insects can only eat very specific plants. So an example of that that's kind of famous is the monarch butterfly. Has anyone heard of a monarch butterfly?
Yes. At my school, I just school pets.
You had monarchs at school?
Yeah.
Oh,
During
cool.
And my teacher even
Anyway, here's the ground level, and we're standing somewhere about in here, and that's the top of Churchill Mountain, which is up there. And this area here, this is a water well that was drilled for the water supply for the farm, and that's down below us. We're not going there today, it's out of the way, kind of hard to get to, but it gives us a tremendous amount of information about what's underground. And underneath our feet, underneath the feet is the soil. See this brown layer? That soil is only about 3 feet deep, if that. We went through the maps.
Yep.
For the people who were here 2 years ago. This is a geological map. I have maps that show vegetation,
Mavis.
maps that show animals, there are maps that show soils, there are maps that show human history, how people farmed this area, and so forth. There are surveying maps. We have about, how many maps? 10? 8 or 10 maps. This is a geological map which shows the location of boulders, in other words big rocks, which I'm hoping we'll find one here to look at pretty soon. And also stone piles, piles of stones. Do you know what a stone pile is? Can we show them a stone pile? I don't know if they get to see one.
Also really, really important, believe it or not. Does anyone know why flies might be important? What do they do to help us?
They give food to spiders.
They give food to spiders, that's a huge one. Very important parts of the ecosystem that we have around here. So a lot of animals depend on other bugs for food. Things like spiders, frogs, fish, all sorts of things need bugs like this fly to survive. But what about people? How do bugs like this help people? You can eat them, and in a lot of parts of the world people do eat them. They might even start eating them in this part of the world in the future, but right now that's not quite where we're at.
Different one of these.
Okay.
It says, "My umbrella-shaped house runs on ocean waves."
Nice. Very nice.
Water in a pond, crisp and clear. Horses snort as frogs jump near. A human comes, takes them in. To fresh stalls and water buckets full and deep. Horses in the paddock give a shrill call. Horses in the barn yell for water.
Very nice. What'd you get?
We got one of those things again.
Those little things. You gotta put water in that dish. The bug has to stay in water.
There is. It's just for the log.
You have to put a lot of water for them. Victor, you're the slapper now.
You stole something from my house! You stole everything! Even my house! I hate you! I don't know who hit me. It's Colin. Colin's had enough of you.
Oh, uppercut.
How can you do this to me, Anthony? I thought we were friends!
Uh-oh. Brother, sister, this is gonna be a problem.
How about Colin?
It's gonna get ugly. Oh!
I know. Let's dream with them.
Oh boy, Annabelle's been waiting a long time for this. Oh!
And attached to that song. And then when we think of that song, it'll make us feel that way a little bit, or it'll help us work through that emotion. Like if we love a song so much, and every time we hear it, we just want to get up and dance. And every time you think of that song, it makes you happy. And when you're happy, you want to hear that song. So, you know, our emotions do become tied to these pieces of music. I find that personally, I am able to recall those emotions and help myself maybe play a part, a role up on the stage when I think of this piece of music. It's going to help me.